Welcome to this year's concert and celebration of the music and the life of the great composer, Alec Wilder. Alec Wilder was, without a doubt, a true American original, as has so often been quoted. He was one of our great popular song composers, wrote such classics as I'll Be Around, It's So Peaceful in the Country, While We're Young, and many, many others that were recorded by Tony Bennett, Frank Sinatra, Billie Holiday, and so many. Not only did he compose all these songs, he wrote a book on it. He wrote the book on it, a book that still is thought of as the Bible, one of the great reference books of American popular song, and it's called American Popular Song. It's over my shoulder here, published by Oxford. And by the way, a new edition of that book is coming out by Oxford this year, and it will update everything and also correct one glaring error in that book, and that is that Alec, being the self-deprecating soul he was, totally omitted himself from the book. So there's a new chapter on Alec's music in this book. Alec was not only, as I said, one of the great popular songwriters and an author, he was also an amazingly prolific composer of chamber music, solo instrument pieces, concertos, chamber operas, art songs, music for television. Absolutely incredible. In fact, when I was a young saxophonist, I could not believe that the person who wrote this beautiful alto saxophone sonata or the composed out concertos that he wrote for Zoot Sims and Al Cohn, I couldn't believe that was the same person who also wrote I'll Be Around and everything else. But it's true. And we're here for him. And we're also here today, by the way, for Judy Bell. Judy Bell was one of the assistants in the original 1972 edition of the book American Popular Song. She worked with TRO, the Richmond organization, from that time onward. She was a true detective, a supporter, and one of the cornerstones of our efforts to keep Alec's legacy and music alive. And we lost her just a few months ago. So this concert is for you, Judy. Because of all of this, Alec is truly one of the quintessential American composers. But his music is not just loved throughout the United States in various musical circles. He's also a worldwide phenomenon and musical voice. And so this concert is virtual, not just because of safety reasons for the ongoing pandemic. It's also a virtual concert because now we can bring in performers from other parts of the world who are also equally dedicated to Alec Wilder's music. So we hope you enjoy this concert. And to start off and introduce our first artist, I would like to introduce to you my co-host. He is a singer, pianist, champion of the American Songbook, a mainstay at New York City's Birdland Club. He's been a long, active supporter of the Friends of Alec Wilder and all these concerts that we've done in the past. He has been featured at Carnegie Hall, Rose Hall, and the Allen Room, at Jazz at Lincoln Center's American Songbook series, and on NPR's Morning Edition, Fresh Air, and Jazz Set. Please meet Mr. Eric Comstock.
Hello, everybody. I'm Eric Comstock, delighted to be co-hosting what we certainly hope will be the last virtual concert of the Friends of Alec Wilder. I go back to songs as I go back to an old friend, a garden, a fireplace, like a cat that comes back after being away. So said Alec Wilder, and so our next artist feels about returning to the Wilder Songbook. This award-winning Dublin-born vocalist combines song, literature, poetry, sound, and silence. Her life changed when she came over from Ireland to Chicago and got to hear both Jon Hendricks and Kurt Elling on the same magical night about 20 years ago, And the rest, she says, is herstory. To sing four Wilder favorites with Johnny Taylor piano and Barry Donahue bass, please welcome Emily Conway.
Hello, welcome to the House of Horn studio. We are coming to you from Walkinstown in Dublin, Ireland. And I'm here with Johnny Taylor on piano, Barry Donahue on bass, and I'm Emily Conway, and we are going to perform for you some of our favourite Alec Wilder tunes. Alec Wilder, the enigmatic. I am concerned with the miracle of life in all its incredible forms. I'll stop for a spider, a bird, a tree, a flower, a child, a book, a storm, a sound, a scent, a smile. Like a lark, how high can it fly? Will it sweep over or will it stop by? If love's like a bird and birds fly away, will it return to us some other day? Brushed by its wing, cheated by its song, hear how it sings all the sweet summer long. If now is the time and this is the day, don't let your love like a lark fly away. Oh, don't let your love fly away. Like a lark in the sky, follow its flight as he circles on high. Watch him return while you're waiting there. He'll hurry home to you knowing you care. Brushed by its wing, cheered by its song, hear how he sings all the sweet summer long. If now is the time and this is the day, don't let your love like a lark fly away. Oh, don't let your love fly away. Don't let love fly away. So I should probably let you know that the songs that we're performing today have actually come from an album that we released in 2016. And my relationship with Alec Wilder's music started, in fact, well before that, when I recorded I'll Be Around on my first album. And then I was encouraged to dig a little deeper into Wilder's music. And in digging into Wilder's music, that started my relationship with another very special person, Judy Bell. From the moment I started looking for Alec's music, I contacted Judy, and she would have whatever I was looking for back in my inbox immediately, or else posted to me. Judy was a very, very special person, and I really I really valued our friendship. Every time I went to New York, we'd meet up and have lunch, and I was always a little bit in awe of her because she had such a encyclopedic knowledge and experience of, and a breadth of experience and knowledge of music. But, you know, she was the kind of person who carried it all very lightly. When we'd sit there over lunch, she'd tell me something amazing, and then just a little like shrug of her shoulders and a little, That was Judy. I'm going to share with you a little excerpt from, we had an email correspondence then over the years, and I think it gives you a flavour of Judy. Lovely to hear from you. I too have been thinking of you. I've just been a bad correspondent with all the decluttering in my apartment, which is hopeless. Fortunately, my landlord got rid of that mean building manager, but the new one is almost too cooperative. He wants to fix everything. Painting my bedroom was all I could deal with, as all the furniture and books had to be removed. Putting the books back means throwing out, and I have a friend coming over later this week to help me rehang the pictures. It will be different ones because the others don't look right anymore. Now what to do with all those? Would much rather be reading a good book. And there's also a lovely line here from another email. I have read several good books and listened to some good jazz, so things are looking up, and the sun is out and the temperature is up too. And I think we're going to use that to go straight into Crazy in the Heart, which also reflects Alec Wilder's relationship with Peggy Lee. Peggy Lee did a lot to get Alec Wilder's music out there because, of course, he wasn't terribly interested in playing the popular game. And of him, Peggy said that, she saw that she was an unusual child, and that they used to like to sit down on curbs and just chat about life. So this song is called Crazy in the Heart. I see roses in December. I think it's April in November. And it's all because I'm crazy in the heart. I hear trumpets when I'm talking. I think I'm flying when I'm walking. And it's all because I'm crazy in the heart. I used to be the kind who acted sober, acted wise, until I felt the magic that happens in your eyes. And so I'm daffy as a hatter. Oh baby, please don't let it matter. Don't you worry if I'm not so very smart. It only means you got me crazy in the heart. Ba-da-ba-do-ba-da-ya, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-da. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. To be the kind wise. Until I felt the magic, it all happens in your eyes. I'm daffy as a hatter. Oh baby, please don't let it matter. Don't you worry if I'm not so very smart. It only means you got me crazy in the heart. Alec Wilder, an incorruptible free spirit for whom nothing was too small to catch his attention. In fact, he was very fond of Marion McPartland and wrote music for her. She said of him, "That's what I love about you, Alec. Your tastes go in every direction." And surely they did. His attention was everywhere, and yet he wanted to possess nothing. So Alec would never travel with any more than what would fit in 2 suitcases. He never owned a home. He stayed in hotels, never longer than 2 weeks. He called the Algonquin his tax base, because even free spirits have to pay tax. He read voraciously and gave his books away, and was never seen without 2 tomes under his arm, the train timetable and a dictionary. So at any moment he could flee either imaginatively with words or geographically, as was called for. In a book that he wrote, Letters I Never Mailed, coming back to his relationship with Peggy Lee, this next song is called Is It Always Like This? And he wrote this song for Peggy Lee, but she never sang it. And in Letters I Never Mailed, he talks about this when he says, "I know you remember the song I wrote for you when you were with Benny Goodman in the New Yorker. It was called Is It Always Like This? And you've never referred to that song. From the day I gave it to you to this, neither words nor music. Was it too sacred? I suppose it's all too late now, isn't it, to sit you down on a curbstone." Is it always like this when you fall in love? Are the trees always so green? Has the sea this silvery sheen? Does the sun always shine when you fall in love? Is the moon always in view? Is the night designed just for 2? Or is it just an illusion? Can none of it be what it seems? Is there an end to confusion? Can life take a tip from your dreams? Is it always like this when you fall in love? Is there still a place for laughter? Can you still live happily ever after? Or let it always be like this? to confusion. Could life take a tip from your dreams? Is it always like this? When you fall in love, is there still a place for laughter? Can you still live happily ever after? Or let it always be just like this? Always like this. Always like this. So I'd like to tell you a little story about the album that we made in 2016, Dear World, because if you get it, and if you get a hard copy of it, you'll notice that the bubbles motif is throughout. Now, those aren't actual bubbles. They are actually rain, so pools of rain in a subway grating. But a subway grating from New York City. A friend of mine is in New York, and she took a photo of this reflection of rainwater in a subway grating. So it's actually the New York skyline. But of course, we know that bubbles are synonymous with Alec. And in fact, it was Marion McPartland who happened on him outside of Louis Uzer's studio blowing bubbles. And she said when she came on Wilder, "We went out in the street, the two of us, and blew bubbles. Alec with his glasses piled back on his head and his tie awry. A little man strutted by and said, 'You'll never grow up.' 'Never,' shouted Alec back." I'll just share another little insight into Alec's colourful interludes with people. This next song is The Wrong Blues, so it's about when things just don't go right. And this is a day when Alec met somebody where things didn't quite go right. Alec said, "Clearly you are profoundly disturbed. It doesn't help matters, but most people I meet are either hysterical, depressed, irrational, bewildered, or in a word, wholly unable to cope." I used to hold you, sing you the right blues, only the sweet kind, the love in the night blues. But it's the wrong blues, baby, the wrong blues. Now that you've left me, each night I start out, walking the dark streets. I'm eating my heart out. I'm singing the wrong blues, baby, the wrong blues. Nowhere do I see, there ain't one heart for me. There ain't nothing but blues in this town. Baby, it's since you threw me down. I have the night spots, I never can stay there. For when the band starts, guess what they play there? Only the wrong blues, baby, the wrong blues. But nowhere do I see. There ain't one heart for me. There ain't nothing, no nothing, no nothing, no hearts in this town. It's all set to pull me down. I have the night spots. Baby, I can't stay there. For when the band starts, you wouldn't believe it, but you know what they play there. It's always the wrong blues, baby, the wrong blues. Darling, I need you. Could you drop me? Baby, please, come back. You got to stop me from singing these wrong blues. Oh, baby, the wrong blues. I keep singing. I'm dropped in. There ain't no way out of these wrong blues. No matter what note I make, I can't find the way out of this wrong blues, baby. The infinite wrong blues, the wrong blues. Okay, folks, that's us. We hope you've enjoyed our set here in the House of Horn studio. On sound, we have Michael Buckley. On camera, we have Luke Brabazon. Goodbye from us. Thank you very much to the friends of Alec Wilder for inviting us to do this set. It's been an absolute joy to revisit this music. In fact, Alec Wilder did say he had a special place in his heart for songs, and he said they were like coming home. And certainly it's felt like that for me to come back to this music. So we just hope that at some time in the future we'll be able to perform for you in person. Goodbye from me, goodbye from Barry, goodbye from Johnny, and we hope to see you in person soon. Take care.
Next, we take you to Berlin to hear a set of Alec Wilder's famous octets. The octets were truly original pieces. I have the original recording of these actually in my hand. These happened in the late 1930s, and they were the pieces that really made Alec Wilder a household name, if you can say that. They attracted the attention of Frank Sinatra, who, if you can do the math, was the equivalent of a rock star in 1938. Mitch Miller is who went on to have a hit television show and went on to be one of Columbia record executives. He's on these recordings. Actually, that's him pictured on the cover. And it attracted attention throughout the musical world. It did that because it was really something that had never been done before. Gunther Schuller has called this really one of the first examples of third stream music that blends jazz and classical music. They are written for an instrumentation that is in a way, a true woodwind quintet. That is a quintet of woodwinds without French horn, with bass clarinet instead of French horn. So 5 woodwinds and then a swinging rhythm section of bass drums and harpsichord. So you can see how Alec was already, just by the instrumentation he chose, blending these styles. And they have wonderful, amusing titles that are like The House Detective Registers. It's silk, feel it. The children met the train. And my personal favorite, the evocative Jack, this is my husband. Think about that one for a few minutes. So now we go, as I said, to Berlin, and we meet the oboist and English hornist Matthias Haas and his octet to play a set of Alec Wilder's octets.
Hello, I'm Matthias Hase. I'm a freelance oboist from Berlin. And it's a great pleasure and honor for me to be part of this concert of the Friends of Alec Wilder this year with the Alec Wilder Octet Berlin. First, I want to talk a bit how I discovered the music of Alec Wilder. And yes, it was about 20 years ago. I organized a concert with a large wind ensemble. It's called Classic Meets Jazz. And we play music of composers of the beginnings of the 20th century. They are influenced by jazz. For example, Bohuslav Martinu, Kurt Weill, Darius Milhaud, and we have also some new compositions. And as usual, after the concert, we go to a restaurant, sitting, talking, drinking, eating, and so on. And there was David Milne, a saxophonist from the States. And he asked me, "Oh, Matthias, do you know Alec Wilder?" I said, "No, never heard." But already the next day, I start my search in the internet. It was quite new for me at that time. And but it was hard to find something. In just maybe 2 recordings, even YouTube don't know Alec Wilder. There were just 2 or 3 links. But finally, I found the Richmond organization. And I get in contact with Judy Bell, and I wrote her a letter, and she asked at once and sent me some links, and she sent me little tapes wrapped in stenol paper with the original recordings of the octets. I hear this at home, and I was enthusiastic, and I say, "Oh, I want to play this music." I asked her for the music, and she sent me all the music she has and give me some advice. And I can say she was really a door opener to Alec Wilder and his music for me. I know in this concert we will remember her, and I was really very sad to hear that she passed away this year. Even I never met her personally, but I have a very good memory to her. And so I got all this music. She sent me what she has, and even some manuscripts. And I recycled them, and so one of them we will play in this concert. It's called Sweet Sue. And yes, what can I say? It's a great music, and for me as an oboe player, it's a great chance to play jazz, because the oboe is not a traditional jazz instrument. And all the time when we meet and play this music together, it takes a lot of fun, even if it's not so easy to play. But okay, it takes fun, and today we will do 5 octets, and I hope you will enjoy as we do. Thank you. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, welcome to this concert with the Alec Wilder Octet of Berlin. We are playing after a long time, and it's a great pleasure for us to play for this concert in New York. We will be playing 5 titles, 5 songs of Alec Wilder. But first, I want to introduce the band. The most soloist, the most important at the harpsichord is Insa Berns. And then on the rhythm group, on the bass, Horst Nonnenmacher. On my left side on the drums, Michael Rowalska. And the bass, bassoon, Stefan Rocke. Bass clarinet, Andreas Dormann. And flute and alto saxo instead of the second clarinet, Christoph Griese. At my right side, Jan Hermerschmidt with the clarinet. And finally, it's me, Matthias Hase. I'm playing the oboe and the cor anglais. Enjoy our music, and yes, we do our best. Thank you. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Next, we go to Italy to bring you a pianist and his trio that we have tried to make a part of one of these concerts for a number of years. In 2014, he recorded an entire album of Alec Wilder's music on the legendary jazz label ECM. And it sounds just glorious and was met with great critical acclaim. However, his US touring schedule and our concert schedules never quite lined up. And so today is a perfect way for us to include him finally on one of these concerts. He has been recognized for a number of years in Europe. He was winner of the JS Bach Festival. He's not only a jazz performer, but classical player as well. In Dusseldorf, he won the Brussels National Radio Award as the best young pianist in Europe. He has taught at the Siena Jazz Program, and he is founder of the jazz groups Triplicity and Theatrum as part of the Permanent Workshop for Musical Research in Siena. So please greet from Italy, and really bringing his European take on Alec Wilder's jazz side, the great pianist Stefano Battaglia. While Alec Wilder was so well known universally for his many popular songs, he was also rubbing elbows in the New York music world with so many elements of that huge family, including members of the New York Brass Quintet, the New York Woodwind Quintet, members of the New York Philharmonic, and he wrote pieces for them. People like flutist Julius Baker and Samuel Barron, the great oboist Ronald Roseman, the trombonist John Swallow, notably the tubist Harvey Phillips, who had an entire library of tuba music written for him. And so now we bring back Matthias Haas from Berlin to play one of Alec's most beautiful wind pieces, but one that is not that often played. So we'll correct that today. Matthias will now play the Alec Wilder English Horn Sonata. Aside from the flourishing of improvisation in the world of jazz, another area where improvisation still exists and is done at a virtuoso level and has happened for 500 years, let's say, is the area of organ. And we would now like to feature as our final instrumental selection of this concert, the only organ composition that Alec Wilder wrote. And Alec would have loved this because our artist today is not only a virtuoso organist, but he's also an expert improviser in that style. He is music director at the Church of the Blessed Sacrament in Manhattan, also served at St. Bartholomew's Episcopal Church in New York and St. James Episcopal Church in West Hartford, Connecticut. He is a graduate of Yale University and Manhattan School of Music, and he has won several awards, including, most notably, first prize in the National Competition in Organ Improvisation. So this piece has the title of the person to whom Alec dedicated the work. It is called Helen Mary Delasante. And it's undated. This is a bit of a mystery. You know, every answer in Alec Wilder's world begets 10 more questions. And this is a beautiful piece, one that I've heard about, but I've never heard before. And to not only perform on the piece, but also to improvise on it in the style of Alec Wilder's piece is the great organist, Jason Roberts.
Our final artist is a Tony-nominated actor who has been called the finest Sondheim interpreter working today by The New Yorker and incomparable by The Wall Street Journal. Her signature roles include Eliza Doolittle, Tracy Samantha Lord, and Venus, no last name. I was fortunate enough to be in the audience on the day the New York Times raved about her performance as Venus in One Touch of Venus at City Center. One upside of the pandemic, if any can be found, is that while in lockdown, she fell madly in love with the music of Alec Wilder, and she's going to sing a favorite for us now. With the excellent Ted Firth on piano, here's Melissa Errico.
Hey, this is Melissa Errico in the company of Ted Firth. So we're going to sing Blackberry Winter for you, which we sang during the pandemic at the yuckiest time. And I saw a tweet on Twitter from a fan of mine that said, Melissa Errico's got to sing Blackberry Winter right now. It was April. We'd already had COVID in our house, and my husband really sick. And so it was just a crappy time and a scary time. And when I said, oh, I saw Blackberry Winter on Twitter from a wonderful musician who follows me and has turned into a friend now, a really good friend because of Alec Wilder. So I've really bonded now over this song with this super cool guy in LA. Haven't met him yet. Plays the bassoon, Bill Wood. And so due to this very smart, very loving, very musical person who put this song in my life, we sang it. Ted Firth played it for me remotely. And it was kind of profound, you know, and it's a beautiful song for some of the pain we've all been through, the idea that common in American South, that there was a blackberry winter when the blueberries would freeze in the spring. And so a time of fear and loss and frozenness and bitterness at a time where there was supposed to be renewal, you know, is obviously very metaphoric and scary and cool for what we all suffered. So, and are just coming hopefully out of now. So anyway, Blackberry Winter is an amazing piece of music. We are honored to sing it for you. And hello to all the lovers of Alec's music out there. And we haven't thought about it in a while. We're working on something else right now, so I'm squeezing this into rehearsals. But I didn't want to miss a chance to share my love of Alec's music with other fans out there. And so I hope you are having a good night, and hope you'll enjoy a little music. Ted Firth is just off camera with me, and he's a wonderful partner and also loves this song. So here we go. Blackberry winter comes without a warning, just when you think that spring's around to stay. So you wake up on a cold, rainy morning and wonder what on earth became of May. Blackberry winter only lasts a few days, just long enough to get you feeling sad. When you think of all the love that you wasted on someone who you never really had. I'll never get over losing you, but I had to learn that life goes on, and the memories grow dim like a half-forgotten song, till the blackberry winter reminds me you are gone. I get so lonely, most of all in springtime. I wish I could enjoy the 1st of May. But I know it means that blackberry winter is not too far away. I'll never get over losing you, but I had to learn that life goes on, and the memories grow dim like a half-forgotten song, till the blackberry winter reminds me you are gone. And I get so lonely, most of all in springtime. I wish I could enjoy the 1st of May. But I know it means that blackberry winter is not too far away. Is not too That's a great song. Thank you, Ted, thank you everyone out there. And I'll see you soon. Call me, you know. Let's have a party. All right. Okay, this is where I was singing that. Amazing, right? New York went through a lot. So now we get to sing it over, right? See there? Singing like right over New York City. So wishing everyone peace out there. No more blackberry winters. Bye.
Alec Wilder and all of us who love him lost a great friend in Judy Bell this past June. Judy worked at Alec's publishing company, the Richmond organization, but of course, her passionate championship of his work extended way beyond working hours. So we want to dedicate this concert and this traditional final song to Judy Bell's memory. I'll be around no matter how you treat me now. I'll be around from now on. Your latest love can never last, and when it's past, I'll be around when he's gone. Goodbye again, and if you find a love like mine, just now and then, drop a line to say you're feeling fine. And when things go wrong, perhaps you'll see you're meant for me.